was a piece of you. That was a piece of shit. You know?
Sometimes interviewers cross over the line, leaving celebrities no choice but to shut them down. Just like when Lindsay Lohan endured uncomfortable jabs from David Letterman.
Honestly,
I do.
I saw you.
Stop.
Yeah, she's tearing up a little bit.
But first, here are 11 brutal times celebrities destroyed disrespectful interviewers, starting with one of the most unforgettable moments when Mike Tyson's explosive response during a live interview.
Some of your critics would say, you know, there's a race for mayor. We know you're a convicted rapist. This could hurt his campaign. How would you respond to that?
That's when Iron Mike lost it. Tyson fired back with a string of curses, repeatedly calling Downer a piece of then took the reporter down.
How would you respond to that?
Hey, I don't know who said that. You don't even know who said that. You know what I mean? And I don't have no comment to that, you know, because it's negative and you're being negative. And I met the mayor.
Right. Mike spent quite a bit of time yesterday talking about his life, highs and lows.
It's so interesting that you come across like a nice guy, but you're really a piece of shit.
Hey,
with that comment.
Come on.
No, that was a piece of you. That was a piece of shit.
You know, we're doing live TV.
Hey, I don't care. What are you gonna do?
It just goes to show how quickly a simple interview can turn into a full-blown disaster when someone hits a nerve.
Is it nerve-wracking for you to do something like this, or is it more nervous for you to box? How does it compare?
I don't know. It's more nerve-wracking for me to hear us talking to a rat piece of shit like you.
Come on, Mike.
No, because you're a piece of shit.
All right,
You really have to.
we're gonna wrap up this interview. Thank you for coming in.
Tyson's candid approach set the stage for other celebrities to assertively handle intrusive questions, just like how Tom Cruise showed us there's a classier way to destroy pushy reporters than losing your cool.
Everybody's different, Peter. I don't buy into this whole thing of being normal. There's no such thing as normal. When you really look at someone's life and you look into their life, everyone has a story.
Yeah.
Everyone has something that is going on that is very unique to them.
While promoting a movie, Cruise found himself in a sticky situation when an interviewer started digging into his personal life. Out of nowhere, the question shifted to Cruise's ex-wife, Nicole Kidman.
Was Nicole the love of your life?
What do you mean, Peter?
You were married for 10 years.
Listen, we raised children. How do you answer that? How do you answer that question? She's someone that I plan on getting married again.
You do?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And having kids?
Absolutely.
But Nicole was a major part of your life and a love of your life at the time.
I loved Nick very much. There's no question.
When pressed further about Kidman, Cruise's patience wore thin. He shut the interview down.
Would you like Nicole to remarry?
Yes. I want Nicole to be happy. That's what I want.
And do you have a relationship where you talk, it's a parenting relationship, and talk professionally about each other's work?
Listen, here's the thing, Peter.
Yeah.
You're stepping over a line now.
Cruise then schooled the interviewer on how to do his job properly.
Here's the thing, Peter.
Yeah.
You're stepping over a line now. You're stepping over a line. You know you are.
Well, I suppose they're questions
Peter,
that people want to know.
Peter, you want to know. Take responsibility for what you want to know. Don't say what other people. This is a conversation that I'm having with you right now.
You're right.
Okay, so I'm just telling you right now, okay? Just put your manners back in.
Do you think I was out of line?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I apologise for that
Good.
sincerely.
Good.
Cruise's cool-headed yet assertive response was widely praised, showing the perfect way to handle intrusive questions while maintaining professionalism. His assertiveness mirrors the grace Anne Hathaway displayed when she faced an uncomfortable situation of her own. It was 2012, and Hathaway was riding high on the success of Les Miserables. She appeared on the Today Show to discuss her role, but instead of talking about the movie, host Matt Lauer decided to focus on a recent paparazzi incident.
Let's just get it out of the way. You had a little more wardrobe malfunction the other night. What's the lesson learned from something like that, other than that you keep smiling, which you always do?
But instead of reacting with anger or embarrassment, she took a steadying breath and tackled the issue head on.
Well, it was obviously an unfortunate incident.
Yeah.
I think it kind of made me sad on two accounts. One was that I was very sad that we live in an age when someone takes a picture of another person in a vulnerable moment, and rather than delete it and do the decent thing sells it.
Hathaway turned the conversation around, connecting the incident to the themes of her movie, making a clear link to her character Fantine's struggles in Les Miserables.
And I'm sorry that we live in a culture that commodifies sexuality of unwilling participants, which brings us back to Les Mis, because that's what my character is. She is someone who is forced to sell sex to benefit her child because she has nothing and there's no social safety net. And so let's get back to Les Mis.
Meanwhile, Lauer came off looking like a total creep who was more interested in embarrassing his guests than having a real conversation. Hathaway's tact and strength under scrutiny echoed Morgan Freeman's ability to navigate sensitive topics with wisdom and composure. It happened during a memorable interview on 60 Minutes, where Morgan Freeman stunned Mike Wallace with his unexpected and candid take on Black History Month.
Black History Month you find ridiculous. Why?
You're going to relegate my history to a month?
Oh, come on.
What do you do with yours? Which month is White History Month? No, come on, tell me.
Well, I'm Jewish.
Okay, which month is Jewish History Month?
There isn't one.
Oh, why not?
Yeah.
Do you want one?
No.
I don't either. I don't want a Black History Month. Black history is American history.
How are we going to get rid of racism?
Stop talking about it. I'm going to stop calling you a white man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to stop calling me a black man. I know you as Mike Wallace. You know me as Morgan Freeman. You want to say, well, I know this white guy named Mike Wallace. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Morgan Freeman challenged the interviewer's perspective on racial issues, offering a thought-provoking response that shifted the narrative. His approach encouraged a deeper understanding of the subject, but sometimes humor can be just as effective. Enter Jerry Seinfeld, a comedian who doesn't shy away from calling out political correctness when it clashes with his artistic philosophy.
What's going on here?
In a 2014 interview with BuzzFeed on CBS This Morning, what started as a simple discussion about his show quickly escalated into a heated debate about diversity in comedy. The interviewer, trying to be clever, pointed out that most of Seinfeld's guests were white males, likely expecting him to offer a politically correct explanation. But Seinfeld wasn't having it. His irritation was clear as he fired back.
Noticed that most of the guests are mostly white males of 22 episodes.
Yeah, let's get into that. No, but you take a look over here, Peter. What do you see? A lot of whiteys. What's going on here? Oh, this really pisses me off. But go ahead. It really pisses me off. People think it's the census or something. I mean, this has got to represent the actual pie chart of America. Who cares? It's just funny. You know, funny is the world that I live in. You're funny, I'm interested. You're not funny, I'm not interested. Okay. And I have no interest in gender or race or anything like that.
Jerry Seinfeld used humor to deflect an interviewer's attempt to label his comedy, effectively steering the conversation back on track. His quick wit served as a reminder of the power of levity. His lighthearted tactic differs from Quentin Tarantino's direct confrontation. Quentin Tarantino is known for his unfiltered interviews, but his clash with Krishnan Guru Murthy on Channel 4 News took things to a whole new level. What started as a routine promo for Django Unchained quickly spiraled into a verbal showdown. At first, the interview seemed normal, but when Guru Murthy started grilling Tarantino about violence in his films, things got heated.
And that's why, is that why you think people like watching violent movies? People who are not violent people, or twisted people in any way, but why it's okay to go into a movie and enjoy the violence?
Yeah, well, it's a movie. It's a fantasy. It's a fantasy. It's not real life. It's a fantasy. You go and you watch, you watch a kung fu movie, and one guy takes on 100 people in a restaurant. That's fun.
But why are you so sure that there's no link between enjoying movie violence and enjoying real violence?
I'm going to tell you why I'm so sure. Don't ask me a question like that. I'm not biting.
Tarantino wasn't done. He turned the tables completely, shutting Guru Murthy down and putting him firmly in his place.
I refuse your question.
Why?
Because I refuse your question. I'm not your slave and you're not my master. You can't make me dance to your tune.
I'm
not a monkey.
I can't make you answer anything. I'm asking you interesting questions.
And I'm saying I refuse.
Okay. Well, no, I was just asking you why. That's fine. So you don't want to talk about anything serious?
I don't want to talk about what you want to talk about. I don't want to talk about the implications of violence.
No, but you haven't fleshed it out. That's the only reason.
It's not my job to flesh it out.
No, it's my job to try and ask you to.
And I'm shutting your butt down.
And Tarantino's fiery exchange with Krishnan Guru Murthy proved that some celebrities won't hesitate to push back when interviews cross the line. But Robert Downey Jr. took a different approach. He didn't argue, he simply walked away. In a rare and headline-grabbing moment, Robert Downey Jr. ended an interview midway while promoting Avengers: Age of Ultron. Facing the same reporter who had clashed with Tarantino, Downey's patience ran out as Krishnan Guru Murthy shifted from talking about the film to prying into the actor's personal life.
I'm not saying that I'm such a fantasist that I felt like I was Tony Stark, but I felt like it was my persona. But none of us are our personas.
But he's becoming a much more likable character as well, isn't he?
I suppose
a better
so.
man.
Yeah, he's becoming a better guy.
In a way that you are as well, I suppose.
Sure.
I mean, what I'd really like to ask you about a quote you gave to the New York Times, and I don't want to pry, so if you don't want to talk about it, that's fine. But what you said to the New York Times once was, it was after your incarceration, and you said you can't go from a $2,000 a night hotel suite to a penitentiary and understand it and come out a liberal. And I just wondered what you meant by that.
I couldn't even really tell you what a liberal is, so therein lies the answer to your question.
But the statement sort of stands by itself, doesn't it? I mean, does that mean you're not a liberal, or that you came out of prison not being a liberal?
Are we promoting a movie?
As the questions got more invasive, you could see Downey's jaw tightening and his eyes darting around the room.
I also would like to talk a little bit about you, and I don't know how comfortable you are, talking about yourself at the moment.
You have as much time as anyone else will.
Yeah, well, okay, well then let me just ask you a few more questions, and you can answer them if you want to and not if you don't want to. I mean, well, I think we've got 3 more minutes on our agreement.
Your foot's starting to jump a little bit. You better get to your next question.
The reason I'm asking about the past is that you've talked in other interviews again about your relationship with your father and the role of all of that in the dark periods you entered and taking drugs and drinking and all of that.
Finally, Downey had enough. He stood up, his face a mix of anger and disbelief, took off his mic, then he walked right out, leaving Guru Murthy looking stunned.
And I just wondered whether, you think you're free of all of that, or whether that's still something.
I'm sorry, I really don't. What are we doing?
Well, I'm just asking questions, that's all.
Right.
I mean,
okay. Bye.
Thank you guys.
Are you... I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, you're right.
Thank you.
Do you...
You see, okay, it's just getting a little dinosaur in your...
This whole thing got people talking about how far is too far in celebrity interviews. Downey's walkout showed that sometimes the best way to handle a pushy interviewer is to just leave. But Russell Brand took a different approach to handling an awkward and disrespectful interview. When he stepped onto the set of MSNBC's Morning Joe to promote his comedy tour, no one could have predicted the bizarre series of events that would unfold.
I know. I'm told this. I'm not very pop cultured. I'm sorry. Comedian, movie star, author, and host of the show Brand X, Russell Brand. This summer, he's embarking on his first ever worldwide comedy tour, the Messiah Complex. Katty Kay and Brian Shackman are here as well, and he already told Brian that he might want to disrobe. I'm just saying.
I just thought maybe I could loosen up a little, show a little more chest hair, and he said maybe I should do a little more.
I only think Russell can do that. You look fantastic.
Yeah. That is a very kind compliment. You also look beautiful. Brian, you are free to wear whatever you want. This is one of your freedoms that is afforded to you.
I appreciate that.
Uh-oh.
Silver boot.
From the outset, the host treated Brand as if he wasn't even there, talking about him in the third person as though he were an alien specimen on display, and he lets it go until this.
Clear. If you say something that people are confused about, you can explain it to them and then. If you say something as a joke, people can't pretend that you're saying it seriously. So I like having direct communication with people because I believe people are very, very intelligent, but the information gets manipulated a lot, and people like to cause, like, you know, fake stirs and stuff.
You know, funny, the accent, you know, when I see him in person, it's totally fine. Forgetting Sarah Marshall or the TV show, it's fine. But on satellite radio in the car, I can't understand a single joke you say.
You can't understand it.
Can you understand me?
Yes, but I'm telling you, when I'm driving in the car and everyone's laughing in the audience of the radio, I'm like, I have no idea what he's saying.
It's best you focus on your driving, Brian. You're a man, you don't want to be distracted by humour. You might crash into a pedestrian.
Okay. So it's a good thing.
I think it's probably for the best.
I think I'm just this is my first
brand experience.
Yeah. I think it's not listening to him. It's experience. It's just sort of taking it all in.
You are talking about me as if I'm not here and as if I'm an extraterrestrial. You know, I'm from a country that's
kind of
near
shop
to you.
window dummy. We're just sort of admiring the whole. You know, it's the whole thing, isn't it?
Well, thank you for your
like
casual objectification.
It's an experience.
I'm glad that it is positive for you.
It's very positive, absolutely. Any other questions?
He finally had enough and decided to fire back.
You've become nervous. Why are you nervous?
Really?
You're a powerful woman. You've got a lovely job. What seems to be the trouble?
I don't know.
You've got a hair like Princess Diana.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, I've never
when she was alive. It wasn't being offensive.
Here's a little subtext.
Yes.
We love this. Keep
Willie,
what seems to be the trouble, love?
No, I'm good.
Well, now we're going to do a bit of therapy. Would you do therapy with Willie Brandt?
With who?
Willie Brandt. Would you do therapy with him?
I don't think.
Because that's where he's heading.
Okay. I'm all right.
Yeah. You shouldn't say he when a person is present. You should refer to the person by their name. That's basic good manners.
That is where Willie is heading.
Who is Willie?
I don't know. Okay, Russell Brand.
Is this what you all do for a living?
Yes.
Okay, but I'm here
professional.
Okay, well, let me help you. I'm here to promote a tour called Messiah Complex. It's here for the people of America. Stop saying he. I'm present. Russell. What's wrong with your manners?
You're good.
Be polite.
I'm coming in tomorrow with a big necklace, and I'm opening.
Look beyond the superficial. That's the problem with current affairs. You forget about what's important. You allow the agenda to be decided by superficial information. What am I saying? What am I talking about? Don't think about what I'm wearing. These things are redundant.
I'm distracted.
Superficial.
Russell Brand turned the tables on the hosts of Morning Joe, calling out their lack of preparation and dismissive attitude. His articulate critique highlighted the need for mutual respect in interviews. Matthew McConaughey, however, faced a different kind of challenge on The View, a politically charged moment with Joy Behar. The interview was meant to focus on the Oscar-winning actor's children's book, but Matthew McConaughey found himself in a tense exchange with Joy Behar after she interrupted just to take a jab at his close friend, tennis champion Novak Djokovic.
When he brings them up and where they started. An anti-vaxxer?
So, yeah. Just so
way to bring it down, Joy. I'm just kidding.
Not only that, Joy Behar continued to ask him,
State of Texas, do you think political office is in your future? Can you see that?
If it's where I would deem myself to be most useful,
yeah.
Yes.
Do you think he could get elected in Texas being anti-gun?
It was a clear attempt to corner him on a sensitive issue, especially considering his recent work in Uvalde following the tragic school shooting. McConaughey held his ground, skillfully flipping her question back at her and shutting it down with a calm yet firm response.
Do you think he could get elected in Texas being anti-gun?
Do I think I could get elected in Texas being anti-gun? One thing about if me in politics is to give you a direct statement right there is playing a game that I'm not interested in playing. To give you a direct statement right there.
It was a masterclass in standing your ground without losing your temper. But not all celebrities managed to keep their cool. Lindsay Lohan, for instance, found herself in a tense exchange with David Letterman. Lohan's appearance on The Late Show with David Letterman was supposed to be a simple movie promo, but it turned into a tense showdown when the famous host couldn't resist poking fun at her personal life.
Now, aren't you supposed to be in rehab now?
Do you not watch anything that goes on?
I do.
Tabloid now?
Now here's what
May 2nd.
I was under the May 2nd.
Yes.
And how long will you be in rehab?
3 months.
How many times have you been in rehab?
Several.
And how will this time be different? What are they rehabbing, first of all? What is on their list? What are they going to work on when you walk through the door?
We didn't discuss this in the pre-interview.
No,
Just saying.
but
Normally, topics like this are off limits, worked out in pre-interviews between celebs and their teams. But Letterman seemed to ignore those boundaries entirely. He relentlessly peppered Lohan with deeply personal questions, turning what should have been a fun conversation into an uncomfortable spectacle.
now, do you have addiction problems?
Now you sound like Dr. Phil.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Is it like alcohol? Do you drink too much?
We've discussed this in the past.
Oh, did we really? When did we discuss
Well, because
it? I'm the one who's having the blackouts. What is that?
I'm just saying.
I ought to be in rehab, for the love of God. What is wrong with me? So now, when you go to the rehab, what do they do?
We're here for a movie.
We have to what?
Let's stay on the positive.
Oh, what?
Aside from that side of the positive.
Yeah. All right.
Are you okay now? It feels like people should be helping you. Do you have money saved? Therapy? Ask yourself, why always in trouble? I'm a target. I've always been. And I put myself in the past in situations where, I take full responsibility for it. And it wasn't funny. And I was being immature. And I was going through a phase. And I had a lot of family stuff going on and things in life. And you grow up and you're mature, and I've said that a million times, I know that, but what else am I supposed to say when it's a process of life, and I'm not trying to deny anything that any situation I've been put in.
Well, that's very nice of you to say all of this, and I'm happy for you.
But
No, but I think you should be.
I know where this is going.
No, you don't know where it's going, but I'm saying.
No, I don't.
You're lucky that now we have this rehab that you're looking forward to, and you're saying what you say and you feel what you feel before you got hurt or someone else got hurt.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to taking time for myself, and the next time I come on the show, that will be in my past, and that's the past.
Let's show them a clip of the film. This opens Friday. A scary movie. You have to be in rehab May 2nd. Are you going to be there? You'll be there, right? Who's taking you to rehab? You don't want to talk about that either, right?
Oh, God. Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon.
And you.
Jimmy and I will drive her to rehab.
Finally, Lohan had enough. She pushed back.
And so when you come out, you'll...
No, but I don't want people to think that I'm making a joke of that.
No, you shouldn't make a joke of it, because this could be good for you. It will be good for you.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah. Have you been to this place?
No, it's not like a joking matter.
No, you have enough spine, enough sense of yourself, enough poise to come out here and talk to me. All right, that's enough.
I thought this was going to be vodka.
Oh. Now, you got to. We'll do
it's
that.
It's not funny because
do that on Fallon.
It's hurtful towards me. No, I love seeing you.
Yeah, I love seeing you. Honestly,
I do.
It's nice. Oh,
stop.
Yeah, she's tearing up a little bit. God bless you.
I love you too.
The way Lindsay Lohan was pressured on The Late Show is a stark reminder of how celebrities are often subjected to disrespectful treatment during interviews. But when Kanye West appeared on The Ellen DeGeneres Show, he handled things differently, taking full control of the conversation and turning a casual discussion into an unforgettable display of raw honesty.
Now everybody's trying to I don't give how much you sold. If you playing on radio, are you connecting? Picasso is dead. Steve Jobs is dead. Walt Disney is dead. Name somebody living that you can name in the same breath as them. Human race, one civilization. We're a blip in the existence of the universe. And we constantly trying to pull each other down, not doing things to help each other. Isn't that so funny? The people point fingers at the people who have influenced us the most. They talk the most about the people who cared the most. I'm sorry, daytime television. I'm sorry for the realness.
It's not daytime television.
By the way, we've also covered the most brutal moments when celebrities clap back at Ellen in another video. Click to watch. What are your thoughts on celebs standing up to intrusive questions? Do you know of other epic moments worth sharing? Drop them in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more. We'll see you very soon.